Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. It is me, Desiree, and I join you here barefaced because today we're going to be doing a full face of Believe Beauty. And this is a brand that I never thought I would actually like. When it first came out, I was convinced that people were only liking it because it was good for the price, which that drives me nuts. Like, it's not good, it's good for the price, you know, but so far, I think the products are actually good. Like, they're not just good because they're cheap. This is a brand available at Dollar General and everything is $5 or less, and I can't believe it. Like, these things are not good for the price. They're good and I can't believe the price. Like, it's crazy. So a couple of the things, I have two primers here. The Radially Primed Face Primer. This is the thing I really wanted to try the most because she put this in her end of the year like favorites video, and then she said that it was also a product that anybody would like, so I had to get it. And then I also got the Eyelid Primer. So I'm going to put both of the primers on because I am going to start with eyes first. This is the Lock It In Eyeshadow Primer. They had two different colors and I got the shade Universal, and I kind of wish I had got the other one now because this one has like a little bit of like a color to it. It almost just seems like concealer, which is fine because it completely cancels out everything on your eyelid, gives you a completely blank canvas to work with, but it's a color. So I always feel like I have to go out of my way to make sure I covered up all of the primer. Like, you can see the color of my eyelids are different now. And I'm always afraid that when I'm doing eyeshadow, you're gonna be able to see the primer I don't know, on some part, like maybe way up here, that maybe I didn't put eyeshadow. So far, the primer for me is so tacky. It's very, very tacky. It stays super tacky on the eyelid. I noticed no matter how little or how much I use, it's kind of the same effect. And I thought that that was gonna make eyeshadow blend really badly, but it doesn't actually. It stays so tacky. I thought eyeshadow was gonna blend like a nightmare on top of it, but it actually didn't. But we will find out today because I'm using an eyeshadow palette I haven't used yet, and I'm kind of afraid that it's not gonna work that well, but we shall see. So while that sets, I'm just gonna go in with the face primer. This is the Radially Primed Face Primer. I don't know if it has a shade or anything. This is just the one that it looks like here. I have tried this a couple of times, and I gotta say, it's not bad. I thought it was gonna be like super, super shimmery. It just makes my skin look really glowy. It kind of looks like the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind 4-in-1 Perfector. It kind of gives me the same effect but without the coverage. Alright, so eyelids still very tacky, but we're going to go in with the eyeshadow palette. I found it doesn't dry down at all. It stays that tacky. This is the shade Into the Blue. They had a few different colors. Some of them I have 10 times over in my eyeshadow collection, so I actually asked my boyfriend to pick this one out, and this is the one he went for. Just looking at the formula, like first impression, what it looks like the formula that Flower Beauty uses, just the finish of the way, like the way that it looks, and I don't like that formula at all. So I hope this works really well. I'm just gonna kind of go for one color and see what it looks like, maybe deepen it up a little bit, but I'm not gonna go crazy with the palette. I'm just gonna use a couple of shades. Let's get a clean-ish brush. Let's just dip in. Is that an overspray? I can't, like, I dipped into it, but look at it now. Like, it looks way darker underneath the top. I can't tell if that's an overspray or not, but I'm kind of nervous. All right, let's just go for it. And like, you can see the eye primer color. I feel like that sometimes might mess with the color of eyeshadow. I don't know why. But the primer works as a primer. I just don't love the color of it too much. I kind of wish I went for the translucent one. This is actually blending really nice, and as you can see, it's not sticking really weird on the primer like I thought it would. But I can't tell if that's an overspray on that shadow or not. It's kind of weird. Another thing about this primer, because it's so tacky, you can feel the brush sticking to your eyelid and the primer, and kind of like a tiny, tiny bit of tugging, but it doesn't hinder the blendability. It's really strange. I may have spoke too soon. This side here is being a little funny blending, but I'm just gonna keep working with it. All right, I'm gonna go for this silvery blue one here and on the lid. just with my finger. These feel really nice, or this shade does anyway. It feels really, really smooth, really nice. Kind of, I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting with the formula, but it's quite nice. It feels really lovely, actually. All right, there is that. Ooh, I kind of like that. I like those two colors together. There actually wasn't any fallout. Amazing. I'm just gonna put on some under eye concealer and clean off my little swatchy fingers here, and I will join you back for the concealer. Now that I'm putting on this under eye concealer, I'm just using the Tarte CC under eye corrector. Yesterday, I was using a cream highlighter to put on my highlight, and then I put on under eye concealer with the same finger that I put the highlighter on. So my under eyes were so shiny and sparkly, and I just had to laugh. I thought it was the funniest thing I did. And I didn't realize it till afterwards. I was like, that looks kind of funny. And then I noticed my finger was full of highlighter. Oh boy. All right, so the concealer that I got, they only have one, I think. It's called You're Covered Liquid Concealer, and I got the shade Fair. I did get another shade called Fawn that I thought looked really like a close match in the tube, but then when I put it on, it was like way too dark. I do feel like this oxidizes a little bit, like you can see the color here. And then as I was I tried this for the first time yesterday, and when I was putting it on, just having it on for a minute while I was blending, you can see that the color changes like right before your eyes. But it still kind of worked. It wasn't the worst color ever. It still worked for me. So we're just gonna put this on, use my little beauty blender. They did have some brushes, but none, like I don't really need any brushes. None that really jumped out at me anyways, like necessities. But who knows, I might go back and get them. All right, concealer on. I really, really, really like this concealer a lot, but like I said, it does oxidize a little tiny bit. Not as much as the foundation did, but enough to be noticeable, but I still think the color works just fine. So next up, I'm gonna use some of the powder. This is the Matte Blur Loose Powder in the shade Translucent. I just remembered something. I tried to use this yesterday and I couldn't get that sticker off of the sifter, and it was driving me nuts. I even had tweezers and everything. So let me try to get this off real quick. I did it. Awesome. All right, so let's just dump some of this into the lid, and I'm just gonna use it lightly on my face. I don't wanna use a ton of powder, but I do wanna try it out just to kind of see what it's like. So I just turned to look in the mirror, and you can noticeably see that the concealer is a different color now on my face. Now I'm kind of seeing it in a different light, and I'm wondering if it works. Like, does that work, or was I just trying to make it work yesterday? I don't know. It looks like a different color now. Anyway, let's put on some of this powder. I said I was just going to use a little bit, but I ended up putting it on my whole entire face. I don't know why. Just felt like it. So yeah, it's mattifying. It works fine. You know, it's a loose powder. What are you going to do? But it doesn't look powdery or chalky or heavy or anything like that. And for some reason lately, I'm like really into loose powders, and I never have been into loose powders before. But lately, I'm all about them. I don't have a bronzer, so I am gonna put on some bronzer on some freaking eyebrows, and I'll join you back here for a blush and highlighter. My cat is right there asleep in his little carrier thing, and he's in a very deep sleep, and he's making the funniest little noises. It's so funny. I wish I could record it so you could hear it, but I don't want to wake him up. So I do have a brow gel. I got the just eyebrow styling gel. I think they had some colors too, but I did get the clear one. Oh, nice. It's a tiny, tiny brush. I was expecting like a big giant mascara wand actually. So let's hope this works really well. I am in need of another eyebrow gel. I'm almost out of the NYX brow glue. And if this works, awesome. This might be the next one. But this past year, I was disappointed with a ton of eyebrow gels. And I don't have a ton of eyebrow hairs to hold up, but even them, they couldn't give me what I wanted. I think I'll do blush first and then highlighter. I usually do the opposite, but I think this one will be fine. This is the cream blush. This is one of the products I already had, and I love this one. I don't remember the name. It's like Tropical something or Tropic something. the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Stipple brush, but this color is wonderful. It's just the prettiest orangey, corally, cockatiel-y color, and I really, really, really like this shade a lot. I almost got one of the powder blushes that they have, but I remembered I have this and I don't need another blush anyway, and I already have this one that I love a lot. And now I'm kind of wondering if this blush is gonna clash with that blue eye, but you know what? It's fine, it's fine. I'm gonna tone it down just a bit because I do feel like it's gonna kind of be a little much with the, like as much as I want to wear, I think it's gonna look kind of funny with the blue eyelids. Highlighter, I did get the Perfect Glow highlighting stick in the shade Champagne Kiss. But here's the cream highlighter. It's the shade Champagne Kiss. It does have a little bit of a champagne color to it. Obviously this is a very concentrated swatch. And I like this highlight actually, it's really nice. I'm just gonna get it on my finger. This is the highlight that I was using when I went to put on my concealer yesterday. I had put this all on and then put concealer on it. It just looked really funny. But there's the highlighter. I really, really like this. I think it's a really pretty color and really easy to use. It's not sticky, it's not tacky. It kind of just dries down and then that's kind of it. It's a really nice one. I like it. So I'm going to finish up my eyes and then I'll join you back here for some final thoughts. Alright, I did put on some mascara. I used the Maybelline Curl Bounce Colossal Mascara and I really like it. And I love the way the eyes came out. I'm kind of shocked. I wasn't expecting the blues to work that well. So so far so good with the palette. Of course, I've only used it the one time, but I liked it. The eyelid primer I find kind of tricky to work with just because it's so tacky, and it did give me a little trouble blending on the outside corner over here, but once I worked through it, it was perfectly fine. I just find it kind of weird because it's so tacky and you can feel your brush kind of like sticking to it a little bit, but it works really well, and for the most part it doesn't hinder the eyeshadow's ability to blend. Blush I know I already like. I did tone it down a little bit because I thought I put too much on and it did clash with the blue eyes. Cream highlighter I really, really like. It's not too sticky, not too glossy, dries down nicely, really easy to use. The brow gel actually feels nice. Like I feel like my brows are set in place. We'll see how it wears throughout the day though. Powder really nice, just a decent nice powder, no like super powdery look or anything like that. The primer, I know I did end up putting a lot of primer on so you can't really see it now, but the other times I have used this with just concealer and I really like the effect of this. I think it's really pretty. Concealer I really, really like, although it does oxidize a tad, as you can kind of see. I did also buy the Cuticle Oil and I love it. I'm gonna put some on right now. I really, really like this. It's a big giant brush. You can easily just like paint across all of your nails to get them all oiled up. And I love this stuff, works really, really well. And I also bought all of the skincare. I had been on the hunt for that skincare. Someone had mentioned to me in a comment that they had an in-shower mask that was really good. And I found that. I found the face wash, the sheet mask, and the overnight mask. So I'm still working on those things, but I found them. But yeah, that is it. That's the full face of Believe Beauty. I'm actually kind of shocked that I like this brand. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I thought it was gonna be cheap crap that people were liking for the price, but it's actually good products, and I can't believe the price. It's so strange that they made this stuff for $5. But yeah, that is it. If you've tried Believe Beauty, let me know some products that you love. Have you tried it? Do you want to try it? Let me know your thoughts and opinions as always. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And I'll see you later in another video. Goodbye.